Okay, problem 6, we're going to use fundamental theorems of calculus. So let's say we integrate a function from a to t, from a to x, right, for a function ft. So let's say the integration of this ft is capital Ft, right, plus c. Okay, then this integration will be ft for t from a to x. So it's going to be fx minus fa. Right. So a is a constant. X is a changing variable. A is a constant. Right. So fa is a constant. Right. Then you differentiate this. So now you differentiate this integration by x. Right. It's same as you differentiate capital Fx minus capital Fa. So capital Fx, you differentiate this, it will be just Fx, right? Fa, because it's a constant, you differentiate it, it's going to be 0. So this is your fundamental theorem of calculus. Okay. Okay, this is a fundamental theorem of calculus. So let's use this. Okay, let's use this. First, the derivative of an integration from 1 to x, 2 plus t to the power 4 to the power 5 dt. Okay, so now this satisfies the left, right? It satisfies the left. So we can write down the answer. Fx is just ft. So this is your ft, right? This is your ft. So your fx is same as ft. So you just have to replace t with x. Okay, this is the result. Okay. Part B. d over dx, integration from 1 over x squared to 0. Okay, sine cube t dt. So first, your constant, you want it to be bottom, right? So it's negative d over dx from 0 to 1 over square root of x sine cube t dt. Okay, the second part, you want this to be what? You want this to be just x. You want this to be a variable, not a function of a variable. So what you can do is you can use the substitution method. You can let u equals 1 over x squared, right? But since here it's u, you want this to be d over du, right? You want this to be d over du. So du over dx is just negative 2 times x to the power of negative 3. Okay, so that's why d over du, right? So your d over dx is d over du times du over dx. So this part, d over dx, is d over du times du over dx. So it's d over du times, so let me put d over du here. d over du times du over dx. du over dx is this, right? And don't forget about the negative sign in front. So negative, negative, it will cancel out. Okay. So this is your answer. Right. Then this part is 2 over x cubed. And this, you can use the fundamental theorem of calculus, right? This satisfies this. This is your ft. So the result, it should be your fu, right? So it will be sine cube u. And finally, you have to sub x back here. So it's 2 over x cubed sine cube 1 over x squared. Okay, to avoid confusion, this part is sine 1 over x squared cube. Okay. So part C. Part C, let's see. This is from cosine x to 5x cosine u squared. Okay, again, let's write down the fundamental theorem of calculus. It's d over dx from a to x, fx dx. Sorry. Here it's ft dt, right? It's fx. So again, you want this to be constant, so you can split this into two parts. It's from cosine x to 0. Okay. Okay, to avoid confusion, we just let here to be your t squared, right, dt. So plus from 0 to 5x. Okay, which is from 0 to 5x minus from 0 to cosine x. Okay, now you use the fundamental theorem of calculus. First, this part, the derivative. You can let u equals 5x, right? Then du over dx is 5. Then d over du times du over dx is d over dx. Right, so this part it's du over dx, which is 5 times d over du, right? From 0 to u cosine t squared dt. Okay, so this part is 5 cosine u squared. Alright, 5 cosine u squared, u is 5x, so it's 5 cosine 25x squared. Okay. Then similarly, this part you can do the calculation, right? This part you can do the calculation by yourself. It's going to be, okay, let me do it here. So it's d over dx from 0 to cosine theta, cosine x, cosine t squared dt. Okay, first again you let u equals cosine x, so du over dx is negative sine x, d over du times du over dx, it's d over dx. So the left side it's du over dx, which is negative sine x, times d over du, the integration from 0 to u cosine t squared dt. And this part you can use fundamental theorem of calculus. It's cosine u squared. Alright, so u is cosine x, which is negative sine x, times cosine bracket cosine x squared. Okay. Then the final answer is this thing minus this thing, right? So the final answer is 5 cosine 25x squared. You have to minus this thing, right? So minus this thing, which is plus sine x times cosine x squared. Okay, this is the answer.